The following episode of The Kingdom of Isolation contains footage from the film being discussed. The footage is used solely for the purposes of education, commentary, and criticism under fair use. Please support the animators by watching this film on Disney Plus or home media where available. This episode also contains spoilers throughout.
Hello my fellow Disney fans and welcome to the Kingdom of Isolation, where in times of trouble, why not celebrate the magic of Disney? I'm Kenzie Retro, and today we turn our gaze to a storybook kingdom that endured, well, a bit of a rough chapter, shall we say. Because after the 1950 classic Cinderella, Disney delivered Cinderella 2 Dreams Come True in 2002, a film that felt less like a sequel and more like 3 discarded storyboard pitches stapled together and released out of sheer contractual obligation. It was harmless, it was soft, and it was absolutely not the triumphant continuation anybody was dreaming of. But then, against all odds, came the finale, Cinderella 3, A Twist in Time, released direct to DVD in 2007. A movie that said, what if we fixed everything? What if we gave this fairy tale the stakes, the drama, and the emotional weight it deserved? And somehow, they did. The film doesn't just course correct, it redefines the trilogy. It rewrites the past, literally, with time travel, stolen magic, and a reality warped by pure malice. Because make no mistake, the villains dominate this movie. Lady Tremaine enters every scene like she's auditioning for the role of Supreme Sorceress of the Disney multiverse. Anastasia evolves into something truly unexpected, a character with depth, conflict, and dare I say, heart. And even Drizella, for her limited screen time, radiates chaotic menace with every smirk. These women don't just steal the spotlight. They own the screen, bend the world to their will, and reshape the very fabric of Cinderella's fate. And through it all, the film delivers something the franchise desperately needed. Propulsive storytelling, real emotional stakes, and a hero's journey that actually challenges Cinderella and the prince in ways the original never dared. So slip on your glass slippers, grab a fairy wand, if you see one lying around, of course, and brace yourself as we step into an alternate realm where villains rise, magic twists, and Cinderella must fight for her happily ever after all over again. Now, initially, it was considered to ignore the events of Cinderella 2, but in the end, some characters created for the latter appeared on this movie. Drizella was supposed to be the stepsister to redeem herself, but it was decided that Anastasia was better suited because she was less mean and warmed up in Cinderella 2. And this is the only Cinderella movie in which Bruno the Bloodhound is completely absent.
We don't talk about Bruno!
Not that one! And all the main villains from Cinderella have a darker personality in this movie, where while they only humiliated Cinderella or mistreated her in the original film, in this one, they took extreme measures by even trying to kill her. This was Disney Australia's final feature, as the studio was closed and equipment auctioned off once this production completed in July 2006. And unlike the previous sequel, Cinderella 2, which was mostly made in Japan, and that studio also closed shortly after the completion of the second film. The third film's animators were given meticulous model sheets and extensive live-action sequences for animation reference. Although voice actress June Foray, who voiced Lucifer in the original 1950 film, was still active at the time of the production, she was not offered a role for this installment, nor the previous film.
Unacceptable!
This was also the first direct-to-video film to use the new computer-animated Disney logo that was introduced in Pirates of the Caribbean: Dead Man's Chest the previous year. as well as the first traditionally hand-drawn Disney film to use it. And this also is the last ever Disney movie to be released on VHS. However, it wasn't a public release, it was just a demo tape release. And this was really the end of an era after that. Now, most of the cast are reprising their roles from the previous film. So, film cast speedrun time. Jennifer Hale as Cinderella, Suzanne Blakesley as Lady Tremaine, Tress MacNeille as Anastasia, the late great Rusty Taylor as Fairy Godmother and Drizella, Andrei Stojka as the King, Holland Taylor as Prudence, Mr. Nation as the World, Rob Paulson as Jacques and the Grand Duke, Corey Burton as Gus, and the great Frank Welker as Lucifer. And that just leaves Prince Charming, voiced by Prince Eric himself from The Little Mermaid, top right of your screens. Christopher Daniel Barnes, credited as C.D. Barnes. Supervising animators, Lily Dale for Anastasia, Bernard Derriman for Jacques and Gus, Ian Harrowell for Cinderella, and Gina Harrowell is also credited for this on IMDb. So make that one in there. And Robert Mason for Prince Charming. Music-wise, Joel McNeely is back, and this is more like it. Look, it was inevitable that this was going to happen.
Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit.
Here we go. Now we can get started. Cinderella starts out the gate with Perfectly Perfect, the first song for this film, while her sisters have their typical squabbles.
Where's the prince who'll marry me? When will this horrible nightmare disappear?
Pathetic.
God bless Lady Tremaine for being so good as a villain. Anastasia finds Cinderella in the forest celebrating her anniversary with Charming, as well as giving us a cute visual of two swans forming a love heart. Visually amazing end to the scene. Anastasia steals the one while Drizella tries cutting a log with an axe, with very minimal success. And this is what happens when you have been raised as a spoiled brat for so long.
A stick.
Ooh, let's beat her with it.
Not afraid to get more ruthless. Lady Tremaine is one of the greatest villains of all time, and it's easy to see why, especially with certain shots from the first film. Here, that evilness is turned up to 11. Even Lucifer's evil smile is absolutely delicious. Anastasia turns Lucifer into part duck, while Fairy Godmother turns into stone. Lady Tremaine uses this as an opportunity at
Power. Riches. Revenge.
Have I mentioned how good Lady Tremaine is here at being an irredeemable monster? The way the animators make every expression look and feel absolutely diabolical is absolutely glorious. First spell cast, to rewind time and undo Cinderella's happily ever after.
I call upon all the forces of the universe. Bippity boppity boo!
You can't, I'm going to be blunt, you can't make a line like that sound menacing, no matter how hard you try. It is quite funny, though, seeing this not work initially before everything starts kicking off. The animation here is intense, seeing Cinderella being ripped away from the glass slipper, her prince being put back into the tower, Lady Tremaine's devilish demonic grin foreshadowing how far she will go to end Cinderella's happily ever after. You could have just had the clock going backwards, but they don't hold anything back, and I love it. We're back to the end of the first film, and just so you all know, taking a page out of Nostalgia Critic's playbook, what happens in this film is now the canon timeline of events. What happens in the first film is no longer the canon event. Right on cue, Miguel. Tremaine wastes very little time in getting straight to the formalities of trying on the slipper, using the wand to make it fit Anastasia, ending Cinderella's happily ever after. Anastasia is overselling this just a little bit, while Drizella is
absolutely livid.
Cinderella gets to the stairs and Tremaine breaks the other glass slipper she had.
I don't care where you go or what you do. But you stay away from the palace. Stay away from the prince. Oh, and clean up that broken glass.
Could she sound any more diabolical while sounding so calm at the same time? Cinderella's left half heartbroken, giving us more than a dream, the next song in the film. Jacques and Gus give her some hope that Prince Charming will still remember Cinderella from the previous night. And Tammy Tappan, a Broadway star, showcases her incredible vocal range with the music in the soundtrack here. And the songs, with the songs being written by Michael Weiner and Alan Zachary, they did a great job with the music here throughout. She gets in through the servants' entrance, only to bump into the snobbish, insufferable Prudence, who is amazingly less insufferable and snobbish than in the previous film, where I could not stand her princess must be this, princess must be that, princess must do this, princess must do that. Ugh. Could not stand that at all. Anyway, what's Cinderella's purpose here?
I'm the royal mouse catcher.
Nice cover when Jacques and Gus go walkabouts.
There he is! Oh, I got him! I got him!
Keep that music cue in mind for later. Time to see Charming fencing with the king. And some very bizarre word choices.
Breeding, refinement. These are the reasons to marry someone, not their choice in transparent footwear.
Your Majesty, breeding is not a word you're supposed to be using in a kid's film, because all that does is lead to very inappropriate things. You all know who you are. Prince is definitely enjoying showing off with his father, and we also get a very valid concern, which may or may not have added a plot hole.
You think there's only one woman in the whole kingdom who wears a size 4.5?
Which is Cinderella's shoe size. One thing that has been praised is how much more personality Charming has here compared to the original. Charming meets Anastasia, and the theory is proven correct that he remembers the girl he danced with at the ball, not Anastasia.
It's just that I was expecting, someone else.
Case in point, Tremaine decides to cast a spell, making Charming remember Anastasia. He proposes to her, she accepts, and Tremaine wants it to happen tonight. This is an issue I brought up previously. You can't have an event in this kingdom organized so quickly unless you want it to be private. And if you're inviting the kingdom, at least give them some time to plan and organize. Lucifer almost spots Cinderella, who is heartbroken when Charming tells her he's getting married tonight, even with the tender moment of them locking eyes together. Jacques and Gus make Cinderella aware that Tremaine is using magic to forget her. Next mission, get the wand. Tremaine criticizes the Duke for the preparations being less than satisfactory while her daughters gorge themselves in the food. Yeah. What happened to Grace and Poise again? Oh, that's right. Doesn't exist to these two, apparently. Yeah. Also, Drizella is singing at the ceremony, and the cake is ruined, much to the king and Tremaine's disgust. Yeah. Drizella singing at the ceremony. Yeah, that... No, thank you.
An escapade back there could have cost us everything. Don't ruin this.
Go get him, Twinkle Toes.
Charming tries to dance with Anastasia, and it goes horribly wrong. Also, Tremaine is insistent on everything going just right. So not only is she on the same level of dictators, she's a perfectionist.
Well, just now when I touched your hand, I felt nothing.
Even Charming is wondering why things are not adding up. King is blunt with Anastasia, but it reminds him of his wife. King gives her a seashell, his wife's most prized possession, the day they first met, walking along the beach.
There's no more powerful force in the world than true love.
More foreshadowing of what's to come. Anastasia gets a song of her own, which is really wholesome, even if it is really, really brief. Jack and Gus go to get the dresser key from Tremaine, while Cinderella disguises herself as a maid to clean up the mess the girls made.
Isn't that right, Cinderella?
Only to get busted by Tremaine. Honestly, the build-up to this moment really does have you on the edge of your seat. You have to wonder, when is she going to get busted throughout the whole sequence? Tremaine has no regard for Anastasia's feelings, while Lucifer's tail is also on fire. Chase time, Jack and Gus transform Lucifer into a jack-in-the-box before shrinking him and then growing him back again. Cinderella almost reverses everything, only for Tremaine to stop her and send her on the next ship out of the kingdom.
And you, keep your mouth shut or you're next.
Look, Tremaine is now full dictator with no regard for anyone but herself at this point. Jack and Gus give Charming a rundown of what happened to him with our next song, At the Ball. The birds manage to fix the slipper, and Charming heads off to get Cinderella.
Thanks. And, loved the song.
Further proof Charming has more personality than in the last two films combined. King tries everything he can to stop Charming from leaving, leading to the funniest moment of the film.
I forbid you to take another step down these stairs!
Okay.
Honestly, that one moment there. Charming rides off to get Cinderella while the king is the one who has gone completely mad. Heartbreaking visuals as Cinderella sees a castle in the clouds as she sails out of the kingdom, only for Charming to jump onto the boat and asks her to marry him, which she accepts. Spell is broken, and they make their way back to the kingdom. Tremaine takes matters into her own hands, evading the guards, leading to this moment of gold from the king.
It appears they have fled.
Then search my entire kingdom! I want them found and arrested immediately!
Right away, Your Majesty! The wedding is about to take place, but guess who's back to spoil proceedings? Oh, and by the way, there's still 10 minutes left in this film. So what on earth do the animators have planned for the last 10 minutes of the film? Possibly one of the craziest action set pieces from a direct-to-video sequel that had no right going as hard as it did. Anastasia activates the Among Us shapeshifter, becoming Cinderella. Okay, so we've got two imposters down. Anastasia's one of them. Who else? Lady Tremaine, who claims she's the engineer. And we've also got Drizella, who is basically the Phantom. So yeah, we just need to find Drizella. Yeah, I've already worked out who the imposters are. I have played way too much Among Us. That game is why I have trust issues. Tremaine puts Cinderella into an evil pumpkin, makes Lucifer human with the goal of killing her by riding her off a cliff. Oh, and by the way, Joel, you didn't have to try this hard with the music. But I guess you needed a redemption arc after the abomination of the worst Disney Toon Studios film so far, The Fox and the Hound 2. Blech.
Make absolutely certain they don't come back alive. Bippity-boppity-boo.
This has got to be up there among the most action-packed finales in the Disney Toon Studios lineup. The reds and oranges of danger, the thrill of the chase music, the animation, Lucifer's evil smile, and then this.
Bad kitty.
Badass princess right there. Johnny Lawrence would be proud. Also, God bless Frank Welker for his amazing voice work as Lucifer here. She makes it back to the castle in time for her wedding, leading to Anastasia basically saying screw you to her family.
I don't.
She wanted someone to love her for her. Never was there a more appropriate time to say,
What a twist!
Tremaine snaps, only for the magic to backfire on her and turn her and Drizella into toads. Brilliant that they're allowed to keep their hair as well. But we do get a great full circle moment later during the credits. Charming marries the real Cinderella, Anastasia transforms back into herself, and the fairy godmother is restored. King lets Anastasia keep the seashell, saying everyone deserves true love, which I find really sweet.
And they lived happily ever after. Again.
Over the end credits, we hear Hayden Panettiere, who is no stranger to the Kingdom of Isolation. She's been in A Bug's Life. She was in, I think the last time we saw her was actually last year, in fact, during the Olympics when she was in Remember the Titans. That was about that. And she's also been part of the Kingdom Hearts franchise as Kairi and Shion. And honestly, she gives us I Still Believe, which is my favorite of all the end credit songs from this studio so far. And then we get the full circle moment for Tremaine and Drizella. What goes around comes around. Several parodies of paintings are featured over the end credits as well, including one of Munch's The Scream featuring the Grand Duke, and one of Gainsborough's The Blue Boy featuring Gus. And we even see a painting of Anastasia with the baker from the second film in one of those paintings, which I honestly love. And now, score time. The story, I'm going to give a 9 out of 10. The narrative is wonderfully paced, with clever twists and poetic justice meted out to the villains. The transformation of Tremaine and Drizella into toads provides both humor and a sense of comeuppance, while the resolution for Anastasia is genuinely heartwarming. The inclusion of playful parodies of the end credits and the satisfying musical choice help tie everything together, making the story both memorable and engaging. The characters, I'm going to give it 10. The cast is brilliantly realized, each character leaving a distinct impression and serving a meaningful purpose in the story. Cinderella remains endearing and resolute, while Anastasia's growth adds emotional depth. The villains, particularly Tremaine and Drizella, provide both comic relief and narrative tension, especially with their fittingly ironic fate. Supporting characters such as the King and the Fairy Godmother contribute warmth and levity, making the ensemble as a whole truly unforgettable. Visuals, gonna give an 8. The animation is vibrant and expressive, with a keen eye for detail that brings both the characters and settings to life. The playful parodies of famous paintings in particular, showcased during the credits, add a clever artistic touch and reinforce the film's whimsical tone. While not groundbreaking, the visuals are consistently engaging and complement the story's charm, making for a visually delightful experience that stands out among its peers. And the soundtrack, 10 out of 10 for me. The soundtrack is an absolute highlight, expertly underscoring key moments with a blend of nostalgia and freshness. Hayden Panettiere's rendition of I Still Believe provides a stirring emotional anchor over the credits, perfectly encapsulating the narrative, enhancing both its warmth and its humor, making the soundtrack an integral part of the overall experience and thoroughly deserving of the top marks. And finally, the legacy, which I'm going to give an 8.5. The film's reception marks a notable step up from its predecessor, boasting a commendable 75% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is a vast improvement over Cinderella 2's very, very unsatisfying 13%. This enhanced legacy is a testament to its engaging storytelling, memorable characters, and overall quality, securing its place as a much-loved continuation of the Cinderella saga. So, the film stands out as a vibrant and memorable continuation of the Cinderella story, with its engaging narrative, well-developed characters, expressive animation, and outstanding soundtrack. The clever pacing, emotional depth, and artistic flourishes ensure a delightful viewing experience with its improved reception and enduring charm. This film earns an impressive overall score of 91%. Scoreboard-wise, straight into the top 10 between Pooh's Grand Adventure and Lilo and Stitch 2. Cannot recommend this enough. Just pretend number 2 doesn't exist. And that is it for this episode. Hope you enjoyed this look back on Cinderella 3. If you did, hit the thumbs up. And if you want to be part of the Kingdom of Isolation yourself, you can hit the subscribe button down at the bottom, click the bell, turn on notifications so you don't miss when an episode goes live on this channel. I've got a past this page as well where you can see uncut episodes of the Kingdom of Isolation. And, well, only 2 films left in this lineup of direct-to-video films. And then we've got our Christmas-themed films. We've got the Tinkerbell films, and then we've got the Planes films. We've got this year's Christmas special as well, and that's it. We're done. We're done with Disney Toon Studios. So the next episode is going to be
Disney Princess Enchanted Tales.
Follow Your Dreams. Now, I'm not the key audience for this sort of thing, but we're still going to check it out anyway because it is part of the Disney Toon Studios line. But until then, make each moment count, and I'll see you guys next time in the Kingdom of Isolation.